when you coin terms like brokey, which I think anyone who's watching, they know the term brokey because you coined it. Is that a conscious decision, do you think, for something like brokey, or did that just come out and then you're like, this hit hard because you get the reaction of the people?
Well, I think if you're going to try and teach complex ideas, the best thing you can do first is simplify them. So if you have a complex idea, not many people are interested in learning all the nuances and understanding all the details of a complex ideal off the bat. So you have to simplify it first. And then once they understand the simple version of it, if they're interested, to learn the more difficult and the more advanced version. And I said brokey a lot in my life, so I thought it was funny, but it was a very simple way. Yeah. Now we talk about how you need money. Money is the vested time and interest of other people. Money is the source of all evil. It's the source of all good. You're going to need money if you want to protect yourself. You're going to need money inside of your fraternity. Complicated. Brokey. It starts with brokey. And then people go, I don't want to be a brokey. Then they want to make money. Why do they want to make money? How can they use their money to benefit themselves and the people around them? How does that resist the matrix if they can make money geographically free? Why do we need the people who believe in us to have money? Why don't we want broke people on our team? Because, etc. But it starts with simple ideas. And yeah, brokey. Brokey's a great way to start with a very simple idea. What color is your Bugatti?
Yeah.
What color is it?
Was that planned? Is that something that you preconceived? Like, I'm going to run this line. Like, you don't know if it's going to hit and it's going to go viral. Like, even if you think it will, like, it could hit, could not hit.
Yeah.
Was that planned, that line?
It wasn't planned. No, I'm just a quick thinker, and you never know what's going to go viral. It just comes out. Yeah. And you never know what people are going to adopt and pick up. I mean, I gave myself a lot of nicknames. It was Top G that stuck. Yeah. You don't know. You just talk and have fun, and people adapt to the ideas. How it goes.
What's one kind of phrase or kind of something that you thought would hit that just never picked up?
I thought my slogan would be more popular than it is. A lot of people know it. My unmatched perspicacity coupled with sheer indefatigability makes me a feared opponent in the realm of human endeavor, but it's too complicated.
It's too hard for people.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, but that's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's what I would love everyone to repeat, because it truly is all it takes to win in this world. Yeah. Unmatched perspicacity. Pay attention to everything. Perspicacity, the ability to be perceptive. Pay attention all of the time. Don't wear the headphones. Listen for the enemy coming. And sheer indefatigability. Never get tired. Never give up. Never give in. Never become lazy. If you pay a lot of attention and you work all of the time, you're going to make a bunch of money. You're going to be successful. You just told the story of your podcast. You paid attention and you didn't give up. You didn't even know what you were doing. You just tried it. Raw action solves everything. And I've been the same with all of my businesses. If I decide to launch a business, I'll just go and do it. I launched a school. I launched a university. I own university.com.
Crazy.
Yeah. The large educational platforms of Earth can't stand me. They're trying to convince people to spend 50 grand for a degree for a useless piece of paper. And for $50, I'll teach you AI and allow you to make money in the same day. You can sign up for $50 and start making thousands of dollars in the same day with artificial intelligence. I own university.com. I started a whole school, and I now have the largest online educational platform on the planet. How did I do that? Well, I knew I knew things. And I just started a school, just like you started a podcast. It's like, all right, we're launching a university. And the people on my team believed in me, and a lot of people around me call me crazy, and here we are. We're one of the largest. I would argue we're more profitable than Harvard or any of these other crazy ones. And they have to psyop you into getting a loan, which is a huge psyop, this whole student loan garbage.
Well, I think that's the business, to get you to loan.
Well, if their loan existed in a free and fair market, they wouldn't have a business anymore. If they said you can get a 50 grand loan and you can decide to start a business, buy a car, invest in crypto, or get a degree, who would choose a degree? Nobody. So they have to operate in a vacuum, because only by operating in a vacuum can they attract any finance at all, which is why it's the biggest scam ever. My university doesn't operate in a vacuum. You can spend $49 on learning how to use artificial intelligence and becoming rich for the rest of your life, or 2 pizzas. It's up to you. But if you're a dumbass and you choose the pizza, then you deserve your forever slavery. It's your call. But we don't operate in a vacuum, which shows that it actually has value, because we have students who are voluntarily students, whereas in the typical educational system, are they even voluntarily students? Not really. They just don't know what to do, and they get this money and they can only spend it on one thing. It's forced. And they end up going there and getting their useless degree and then crying on TikTok they can't pay their bills. And that's what happens.
Well, I got 2 questions. One, how much did university.com cost? Can I ask? Can you answer that?
Guess. You get 2 guesses, and if you get it right, I'll tell you.
I'm going to say 12 million.
A little bit less.
Little bit less. Give or take 8 to 10 million.
About that.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, I'm sure it's made back its dividends on the name alone. That's a great name. You know, I can't believe you had it.
Yeah, it's a good name. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't even yet really run the statistics on whether I got my money back on my investment. I just knew it would piss the educational system.
Yeah.
And that's also another reason. I'll be honest with you. When I was in jail, I was trying to analyze who my enemies were. And I understood my enemies were MSM. I understood I've pissed them off because I've countered their narratives. And I understand that the government are trying to psyop the young males of Earth to go and build the roads and pay 50% taxes and perhaps join the army and die in a ditch for no reason besides globalist profits. And I've upset them. And then I'm thinking of all the other power structures I've upset. Have I upset the medical establishment? Well, of course, because I was anti-vaccine and anti-COVID back during COVID before I was even big. People are finding all my old videos when I was one of the most vocal anti-COVID people at the very beginning of it when nobody else was.
Before it was popular.
Before it was popular, I was doing it. And then I thought, okay, so I've upset the medical system. I've upset the judicial system. I've upset MSM. I've upset the government. I've also pissed off the educational system. And they've got a lot of power and a lot of money and a lot of influence. I was like, is there any organizational structure on earth I haven't annoyed? But I bought university.com to annoy the universities. That's why I did it. I didn't even care about the investment, the return on investment. If I'm going to I'll spend $10 million on a couple cars. I may as well spend it on being a thorn in the sides of authority. So that's why I did it.
Because I feel like that's one of the first Trump lawsuits that ever happened for having Trump University. And it was a 2-day course where you learn real estate concepts, and people sued him because they said, we paid for Trump University, which is a 2-day course, and I didn't get a university degree. And I think he got convicted for that.
Wow.
Or whatever it was. He got fined for it because he called it Trump University and people sued him for not it being a real actual university.
It's really interesting.
And they called it a scam and etc.
I didn't know that. And that's really interesting. So it's a good thing I don't own university.com. Some trust fund somewhere owns university.com. And it's a good thing I don't own the university that it leads to that's owned by God knows who. And I'm just some idiot and everything I say is a lie. And I'm just some guy on the internet who just talks stuff and I'm a comedian and I'm garbage. But if you want to learn how to use AI and become rich and stop being an idiot for $49, you can go to university.com and sign up.
Check out my friend's website.
This crazy guy, whoever it is from the Cook Islands who owns this trust fund, he knows what he's doing. All right.